Hi, everyone. Welcome to Curated by Becta's Father's Day Meal Kit. Thanks for ordering one of our special delicious take-home meal kits this week, and thanks for letting us be a part of something special for you at home. Feels like it's been a while since I've recorded one of these, and I'm really excited because the menu looks amazing. So why don't we go ahead and get started? So I'm going to double things up in the oven. I'm going to do both the appetizer and the main course at the same time, and we'll deal with the dessert afterwards. First thing, the ribs are going to need 18 minutes in total. So I've preheated the oven to 450 degrees, and so putting this near the bottom. Hey Google, set a timer for 12 minutes.
Okay, 12 minutes, starting now.
But I've also put it on convection broil. So I've got the convection going on below, and then I've got the prawns going on top. And so we've got this lovely chili lime glaze, and feel free to be generous with this, and do it on both sides and hit it with a little bit of salt and pepper. And we're going to broil it for 2 minutes on the first side and then just 1 minute on the back side. And so you can do it like me, where you do it both together, but I am hoping that you have more time than me and you're not recording a video so that you don't have to do this. Of course, I did it on the wrong thing. I've got our strawberry shortcake, the shortcake there. The important part on this is that we want to put it on tinfoil, not parchment paper, because we don't want, when it's on broil, for the parchment paper to catch on fire. Whoops, put it on the wrong one. So don't feel like you've got to use all of the chili honey glaze. You can use as much as you like. It is on the sweeter side. So I'm probably going to use half or 2/3. And I'm going to move this guy off and do it properly, because the shortcakes can then go on that when they go in the oven near the end. Okay, salt and pepper, back on script. Here we go. A friend of mine sent me Top Chef Legends with Jamie Oliver the other day, and apparently one of the things that he did that so ingratiated himself to everyone is that he just kind of made things up, and it was a dash of this and a handful of that, and I just loved watching it because he was just so down to earth and inspiring. So I'm going to basically do a little Jamie Oliver tonight, where we're just kind of making things up, like switching the parchment for the tin foil, and away we go. So we're going to put that up top, and actually, just for fun, so that it doesn't get any extra sear, I'm going to move the ribs right to the bottom on my convection bake. So they're getting 450, where these guys are getting broiled on top. Hey Google, set a timer for 2 minutes.
Second timer for 2 minutes.
Great.
Now.
So we've got the coleslaw, and it's done with a sesame dressing. So you can use the box that the coleslaw came in, so you don't have to mess up a mixing bowl. And toss this around, and let me see. I believe it's seasoned with salt and pepper, but I'm going to let you know in the email that I send out in a couple days when things are ready. Let that sit for a second. The boxes are really great for mixing things, so you don't have to mess up bowls. So we've got our shishito peppers, which are going to go in near the end. We've got some grapeseed oil, but you can use canola oil. Any kind of neutral oil, vegetable oil will work. But grapeseed is my oil of choice. And some tongs. Give that a stir. And that's going to go on the same baking sheet as the ribs. Now the ribs and the now short ribs, both can go on parchment because they're not getting broiled. One time I lit one of the parchment papers on fire when I put it too hot, and so therefore I now know. So let's talk about the delicious white wine that we have paired up with this. This is a Cave Spring Riesling, their Adam Step, which is a unique vineyard within their estate vineyard, or a unique parcel within their estate vineyard that has all these limestone steps to them. And it's just glorious. It's a little bit off dry, and it's got this zingy acidity and just vibrancy, minerality, and that's what the Beamsville Bench is known for. And it's going to be great with the prawns. So let's keep that in mind. So while we're waiting, hey Google, off. That's my shrimp. So it's broiling very nicely. And we're just going to turn this over and broil the backside for another minute. Hey Google, set a timer for 1 minute.
Second timer for 1 minute. And we're starting now.
So we can go ahead and basically plate the appetizer. So divide up the coleslaw in two, put it near the center of the plate because the prawns are going to go on top. I might get Chef Kyle to do a little bit more coleslaw. Let me get it all out of there. Very Jamie Oliver, using our hands. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. I watched it last night. It's really great. Okay. Now we've got the pineapple salsa that's going to go beside. Now that we're getting a little bit closer to summertime, every bit of tropical, delicious summertime bounty makes me happy. Hey Google, off. And that is for the prawns being ready. I'm really glad that I brought up the Jamie Oliver thing because, look, I'm not being exact. It's a little bit past the 1 minute mark. I'm doing just fine. Shrimp is good. Yeah, nice and cooked through. Not too much. If you wanted to, put a little extra glaze on that, there's no issue. Got it right here. A little bit of extra sweetness. Nothing wrong with that. We've got it, might as well use it. Okay, we're gonna let that cool down for a second. And I've got an idea. Actually, Chef Kyle was saying that the peanut coconut mix actually sticks to this really nicely when it's hot out of the oven. So I'm just gonna put that right on there, let it cool down, and then slide it right on to our plates. Don't need that anymore. Let me see if I can plate it up here so that you guys can see it. Now, let's see, the Cheetos going in there. I might actually need a little bowl for arugula. A Ziploc bag here. And we've got our lemon ramp vinaigrette. So ramps, for those of you who don't know, I went and foraged for them for the first time this year. These are not them, but they're a wonderful spring onion or garlic. And you're going to add some salt and pepper as well. Give that a little stir. And by the way, if you're watching this video in advance and you want to barbecue this stuff, there's nothing wrong with barbecuing. You can grill the prawns right on there on the barbecue and do the same thing with the ribs. Just recognize that you want a bit more of a sear for the shrimp than you do for the ribs, which are done at 450. Okay, let's see if they're ready. Perfect. I think they're perfect. Lovely little paper towel to clean the edges with. And why not? Let's use the rest of the peanuts and coconut on top. All right, I think beautiful. So there we go. Our pineapple salsa with the broiled shrimp, with the chili honey glaze, sesame coleslaw, and the toasted coconut and peanuts. All right, we can get that out of the way. Clean up on aisle 4. And let's get ready for the main courses a little bit. All right, so a little more of this delicious wine. So the grits, by the way, in case you didn't catch that in the instructions, because I didn't tell you about it. So these are some pimento cheese grits. Now grits are sort of a corn, underripe corn grain, if you will. And they're very popular in the southern US. I want to put it on medium low. I had it on 3 out of 10. I'm going to go to 5 at this point, warm them up a little bit more. They're going to come out in a solid brick because there's a lot of dairy in there. There's a lot of butter and cream and the pimento cheese, and that sort of congeals everything. So as it warms up, they will soften up, but they're going to have a texture of, what's a good analogy for this? They have a texture of like a firm, you know what? I can't even think of something that it would be like. Anyway, if I come up with it during the video, I'll let you guys know. But just keep giving that a stir every once in a while, and make sure you hit it with some salt and pepper. Let me do that before I forget. Give that a little go. And I know the ribs still have a while to go, so I'm going to put that down to 4. So on the medium-low side. Oh yeah, by the way, I can turn this off of broil and go back to bake. Okay, and I can actually clear some space here because I'm going to need some place to baste the ribs with. So I've got the Carolina barbecue sauce. Carolina tends to be a little more acidic rather than sweet, which is more of a Kansas City barbecue sauce. And so it's got a little more of a zing to it. Hey Google, off. So the ribs have been slow smoked at Becta, and now we're baking them off, and you're going to coat it generously. We've given you a lot of barbecue sauce here. There is an option to have some on the side for dipping. So really get in there. There's nothing wrong with lathering it along. The acidity also helps to break down the ribs and make it a little more tender, although these are pretty tender. Much better than I realized recently when I made some ribs that my barbecue thermostat gauge was a little bit off. So I was like, I spent 6 hours on these ribs. Why are they not falling off the bone? Well, it turns out they were not quite warm enough. So there we go. Yeah, maybe we don't need as much barbecue sauce as we intended, but we'll see. And then the shishitos are going to go on there for the last 4 minutes. Hey Google, set a timer for 4 minutes.
Sure, 4 minutes. And we're starting now.
Okay, and this is where I'm going to cut some corners a little bit. So the shortbread is supposed to be 350 for 5 minutes. I'm going to go 425 for 4 minutes. So when those go off, I'm going to say that the shortbread is ready. I'm going to check with Chef, and I'll let you know in an email if it doesn't work, but I think it's going to work just fine. So we don't have much to do in the meantime, except toss our arugula. So we can actually go ahead and plate that. With the richness of the ribs and a little bit of spice with the shishitos. If you haven't had shishito peppers, by the way, apparently 1 in 10 or 1 in 12 are quite spicy, and the rest of them are pretty mild. So you got a little bit of spice there every once in a while. So you can go ahead and plate your arugula like this, and then the grits are going to go down, and then we can deal with dessert. So let's drink the Heartland Shiraz. This is a throwback to our early Curated by Becta time, where we found wonderful products from suppliers that we really valued and really wanted to support during a challenging time when all the restaurants were closed. And so Lauren from the buying agency always took great care of us, and she provides us with the Shiraz. And especially now that we're not carrying American products because of Trump trade wars and things like this, that's why we're doubling down on products from elsewhere. But big, rich, smoky ribs need a big, rich wine. And so we're looking to Australia, where we might have not in the last little bit. Yeah, that's delicious. So Langhorne Creek is an area in Australia that's a cooler climate. So it's not quite as big and jammy as many of the Australian Shirazes that you might get from Barossa Valley or from Hunter Valley. Yeah, so this has got a little bit more acidity to it, and so it's big and rich and smoky, but it's got some balance to it as well. So another reason why we like them. I just want to get a little taste, but this is going back to the appetizer wine. Mm. Okay, I guess I gotta start thinking about the next step. I'm going to need a bunch of spoons, at least one for that, and then a big one for the grits that are letting go of all of their butter, which is great. Caramelizing. That's going to be awesome. Hey Google, how much time's left in the timer?
You've got 55 seconds left.
Great. So, going to mix up our shishitos. That's going to go on the same baking sheet as the ribs. And then the ribs will get another slathering of the barbecue sauce. So yeah, there's going to be about 2 ounces of barbecue sauce extra. So why don't we find some little containers that'll work well for this. There we go. Put them right on there. Got these little teardrop things that work very well. Our son is at jiu-jitsu tonight, so he's going to come home to like his favorite meal of all time, which is ribs. Hey Google, off. Okay, so shishito's on. And then another round of the barbecue sauce. First round is sort of to get it sticky, if you will. And the second round is to deepen the flavor and to get it a little more juicy. Yeah, that's lots of barbecue sauce. And now my shortcake is ready to come out. And we're going to make our desserts. Don't need that anymore. Yes, I guess I need a knife. Because you need to cut the shortcake in half. Okay, we're going to take the bottom half, throw it in there. Then that's for something else. So we're going to put the strawberries on. Only about half total. So 3 or 4 pieces on the bottom. Yes, the maple chantilly, which is in the fridge. Hopefully you guys can still see me. And again, so it's basically in quarters if you're doing for 2 people. so that you save some because we have a double layer. And then we got the strawberry balsamic syrup. The only thing you're not going to double is the mint because you just want that on top. All right, got that. Then we mush it down. Strawberries on the top. Again, probably about 4 pieces, give or take. You know what? I'm going to try plating this a little bit differently on one of them. See which one looks better. Yeah, I think I know which one's going to look better. I keep wanting to lick my fingers, and then somebody told me you're not supposed to do that on camera. So, I wonder if Jamie Oliver did. I bet you he did. He's probably a big fan of this. Take a little bit of the strawberry syrup in there. But now this is the balsamic glaze. Put it all around. Looks fabulous. Hey Google, how much time's left on the timer?
It looks like you don't have any timer set at the moment.
Well, I'm just going to approximate the 4 minutes then. We kind of know what 4 minutes is. And then the mint. There we go. I know which one is looking better. So I'll change the instructions to say, put the strawberries on the top there. So there is our strawberry shortcake with the maple chantilly and macerated strawberries and the strawberry and balsamic reduction. Leave that there for fun. Done with the mint. Not that we need this, but we'll get it out of there because I'm going to be putting the ribs here in order to serve. Don't forget to give this a stir. I'm going to turn off the oven because I always forget that. So now the grits can go down. I always find that it's silly that I divide this by 2 and then I break it into 3 because my wife and son kind of share one. Well, I mean the 3 of us share, but ultimately she's got the smallest appetite. But I always set it up in 2 because, you know, I want good looking Instagram photos. And photos for our newsletter. Last chance. All right, now the ribs. Thank you for bearing with me for a slightly longer video. But I think this is going to be worth it. You know, the shishitos didn't get quite as much char as I was hoping. So I might change the instructions and go a little longer. So please pay attention to the cooking instructions. Well, that is looking good. And they are certainly fall off the bone. Toss some peppers in there. There's some char, in fact. But yeah, maybe we're going to go, 5 or 6 minutes on the shishitos. Can't wait to show this to you. This looks really nice. Little paper towel for the cleanup. Kind of make it all look pretty. There we go. And why not? Let's throw a little crunchy salt on there. So there is our Carolina barbecue sauce ribs with the roasted shishito peppers, the arugula salad with the lemon ramp vinaigrette, Carolina barbecue sauce, and the pimento cheese grits underneath. Anyway, thanks for ordering this week. Thanks for watching the video. If you've watched to the end, we really appreciate your support, and we hope you love your meal. For all the dads out there, hope you have an amazing, amazing weekend, and that you are not doing this, somebody's doing it for you. But hey, generally other people cook more than we do, so maybe you're cooking and that's a nice thing. It gives you a chance to enjoy the joys of cooking, which I really enjoy, just like Jamie Oliver did. Anyway, happy Father's Day. Have a great weekend, and thanks again.